War films are all over the place. Every year, at least one wide release in the genre gets audiences and media buzzing. All have the hallmarks of valor, courage, and a little bit of unfettered nationalism. While genres have their cliches, in the end, most war films are more often than not marvels of filmmaking that present triumphant and even heart-wrenching narratives that bring tears to the eye of even the toughest guy you know. All of that to say that A24 has released a new, unique entry into the genre. Warfare, directed by Iraq War veteran Ray Mendoza and Alex Garland, director of Civil War, adapts the memories of a mission endured by Mendoza and his fellow Navy SEALs, all with a new style and flair unique to A24. Let's talk about it on this episode of Studio Cinema Saturday, the show where we review films old and new, the ones you don't like and the ones you do. I'm your host, Jackson Hamm, and today we're talking about Warfare. And I'm going to go ahead and flash up a spoiler warning just due to the non-fiction nature of this film. Let's start with how this film originated, because I think it is a story within the actual story told in the film itself. While working as a military supervisor for the film Civil War, Ray Mendoza began to talk about an idea for a film based upon his own experiences on a mission he was a part of in 2006 with Civil War director Alex Garland. From there, the idea snowballed, and the two ended up co-directing the film, though Garland states that he was more there in a supporting role for Mendoza. During the production, Mendoza ensured that the cast was all moving like SEALs in the best of their ability, and this included a 3-week simulation of BUDS training, which prepared the actors to move and fight like the SEALs that the film is based upon. And I'll say, being no expert whatsoever, they at least sold the action as being authentic. And with someone like Mendoza in the director's chair, I'm apt to trust his judgment. But with this film, it wasn't just Mendoza telling his story. Every named character in the film was based upon a real person, with only Ray Mendoza and Elliot Miller having their real names in the film. Though every SEAL who had a correlating character were consulted for the story, and even met with the actor who would be portraying them in the film. This is the level of authenticity that Mendoza brings with the film, because it's more than just that to him. This is a tribute to his brothers in arms that were there with him on that fateful November day. In fact, this film was so authentically portrayed in one moment that Mendoza had to step away while Garland finished the scene. Moving on from production, I want to talk about how the film plays, from pacing to plot. And this is where it becomes apparent that it isn't just any old Hollywood war movie. This is an A24 war film. They're going to let the artist do their project in their way. And I believe that's what happens in Warfare. Coming in with a 1 hour and 35-minute runtime, this film does not overstay its welcome, luckily. But we gotta start from the beginning, which lulls you into a false sense of safety, followed by immense dread, and then eats through all the adrenaline you can muster. We open on the SEAL team watching the music video for the song Call on Me, which is a great juxtaposition for the rest of the film. This is also a great way to humanize our characters compared to the stereotypical war film cliches. Hey man, I can't wait to get home, see my little boy, or my wife, or anybody remotely close to me. But I think something bad might happen. This shows us a group of young men at the oldest doing their pre-mission ritual, getting hyped up. This brotherhood is then shown once again when they are securing a house for which the rest of the film will take place, as they replicate moves seen from the music video in a rather crude manner. From here, the sense of safety that Call on Me brought with the introduction starts to fade away as anxiety grips the audience in preparation for this mission to go awry. It takes its time, letting the characters fulfill their roles in the team, showing us the business-as-usual attitude these men have when in the field. Throughout the entire lead-up to a grenade getting thrown through a small hole in the wall, all I felt was dread. Every little bit of movement inside and outside the house is leading towards some sort of doom, and then it comes! But it was just a fluke compared to what would happen later. This section of the film leading up to the first casualty evacuation then instills the second false security. Everybody on screen is doing their job. It's all going right. They're getting Elliot to the Bradley armored vehicle outside the house. Almost everything up until after the IED detonation felt like your typical war film. This is the reality check film, as everyone is rocked by this explosion. 2 of the SEALs are terribly wounded. One of the Iraqi soldiers, who was attached to the SEAL team, liquefied on the ground. Then comes the sound design in this scene, which is beautiful. Muffled gunshots and incessant radio chatter besiege you as you witness the horrors of war. Then, the screaming starts as the SEALs drag their wounded back into the house and attempt to gain their bearings. I love the portrayals as the chaos of combat consumes them and their friends scream in pain. Bullets keep on pelting the house, and all hell has broken loose. Then comes the show of force as a fighter jet buzzes the ground, temporarily easing the insurgents' assault. And a quick little aside here, it was great seeing this in the theater as I looked over and saw Garrett's reaction go about like, and from here, it's all just gunfire and screams as the SEAL teams link up and evacuate the house, leaving the bullet-ridden home in Bradley's. The film ends with all of the men who were firing upon them exiting their homes and looking around. This gives a similar business-as-usual vibe seen earlier in the film by the SEALs, in my opinion. You see, this film has also garnered some flack for having no clear plot or character arcs. That's not really the point. I saw someone else say this film is essentially in the eye of the beholder due to its lack of hand-holding or guided type of story. It plays like a recollection of events, which is consistent with the tagline of this film. Everything is based on memory. War films more often than not have a statement about something, whether it be deeper concepts of humanity or something as simple as war is hell. I think warfare could have many meanings. It's definitely not a pro-war film, as nothing in this glorifies combat. It's brutal and punctual with the violence shown on screen. Warfare to me is a journal entry not only to show audiences the age-old, this is what really happened over there, but a therapeutic tribute to the men Ray Mendoza served with. And I'd like to extend this question to you. What do you think warfare is commenting on, or about in general? Because I think there will be a bunch of different answers in the comments below. All in all, Warfare is a hit to me. It could very well become the next definitive war film, in my opinion, with its unique conception and execution on screen. Warfare gets an 8 out of 10 on this episode of Studio Cinema Saturday. And if you enjoyed this episode of Studio Cinema Saturday, I highly suggest you check out all the other episodes we have. There's also our sister show, Television Tuesday, where we talk TV on a Tuesday and tell you all about it. And of course, we like to talk about films and television, and narrative is a big part of that. And we have our very own narrative short films, and we like to do skits as well, so you can check those out and interact with that and have a great time. And last but not least, thank you for watching.